like to thank you, Gurudev, 'cause your children couldn't thank you enough.
Hello, everyone. I hope you had a nice meditation, and I'm happy to see you all here assembled at this day of 2 years Teacher Training Academy 2023, 2025, and which I had the honor to conduct together with Avna in Kerala. And I'm so happy that you guys and you ladies are participating. Hello, Cash. You are here today as well, which is a great thing. And Ideen, hello, Ideen. And all others we have seen already a few minutes ago before we started the meditation. Now, thought about this occasion of 2 years, I couldn't just think about not to do anything. So this popped to my mind. Let's do a party. Let's make a party without any strict frame and see what we feel on such a day. Now we have been so-called veterans joining up in this project, and we had the honor to educate, yes, more than 20 students and qualify them for teachers of meditation like Volkmar, and Ideen, and Bob. And we are hoping that some of the new aspirants for the next teacher training course has also joined us today. But no matter, I thought we'd just make it a formless gathering. And I have nothing to say about that more than it's just very nice to see you. Avna, would you like to take the microphone and spend a few words just in a relaxed
Well, welcome. It is an interesting date. I thought maybe if you agree, Roland, we can just tell the story of the course. I have the pictures here, and we have many people who were in the course: Philippe and Bob and Aidin and Volkmar and us too. So we can just go through the pictures and be reminded what happened, and everyone will make his memories and whatever. And I'm sure some nice stories will come out of it.
Yes, wonderful.
In the Jewish tradition, there's a story about the importance of telling stories.
Yes.
So the story is that someone called the Baal Shem Tov, who's sort of a Veda Vyasa kind of figure. He's dressed in a rough sheepskin coat, and we used to be a shepherd, and from the stories, he seems to be in unity consciousness. He had a wagon that would shorten the distance. Anyway, so there was a great trouble. The Jewish people are very good at having troubles on them. So there was a trouble in the horizon. He could feel it coming. And he went to the forest and he found a special tree, and he made a special prayer with a special intention, you could say, sanyama or samkalpa. And he was transported up into heaven, and he talked with the angels and God, and he arranged things, and the danger was averted. And a generation later, his student, who's the rabbi from Berdichev, came with his. Right now we had a normal coat with a fur collar and a nice walking stick. He was no longer a simple shepherd, and he remembered what his rabbi has done. So he went to the forest and he found the tree, but he did not have the samkalpa. He didn't have the special prayer and so forth. So he just stood there and he communed with himself, and the danger was averted. A generation later, his disciple, who would become a rabbi, came with his silk coat and his stick, a walking stick with a gold knob on top of it. He's much more well-to-do, and he couldn't find the tree, and he didn't have the prayer, he didn't have the samkalpa, but he went to the forest and he thought, communed with himself, and it averted the danger. So then the question comes, what do we do, And the answer came that we tell the story. We tell the story, and it sometimes also works. So here is the story. So it started. I'll tell you how it started. I landed 2 days early to the course because, to arrange some things. And I had a tour guide, Rajesh, who helped us find the hotel. And he said, you're in Kochi. This is the birthplace. He had no idea about meditation or anything, but this is the birthplace of Shankara. Would you like to see the birthplace of Shankara? So I said, of course. So we took a taxi. It's right in Kochi. It's a little neighborhood. This is the entrance. This is the sign. The two right pictures of the Shankarcharyas of Srinagar, which later on Roland and Bob met. And the second picture from the left, is Shankara. And this is the icon of the monastery in all of Srinagar, all the southern. And this is a wonderful story about Shankar's parents wanted him to get married. And he went to the river. The river is still there. The temple is built on the shore of the river, a creek, really. And a crocodile took his foot in his mouth, but didn't bite it off, held him like that. And his mother came and she said, come. And Shankar said, look, if you want me to get married, then the crocodile will take my leg. But if you agree that I be a monk, a recluse, then he will let me go. And so she gave up, on her plan to get him married, and he became a recluse. So this is the entrance. And this is, the students getting their puja sets. So this is all of us with, the priest put these red dots at Bodhi. I think here Surya Narayan is between Bob and me. This is me and this is Bob, and he's right in the middle. Very, very sweet person. He's the head of the temple, which is the 5 temples of the Shankaracharya. He's a Brahmin and but very sweet person. He immediately heard what we are doing. We showed him all the picture, Maharishi, Gurudev and all that. He was very happy, and he was very happy to do a puja for us and everything. And so these are all the people in the course. There's one lady whose face is blacked out because she's a very famous person. And here we are again, about to leave. Okay, now here is Bhavati Dhyan is the name, Transcendental Meditation in Hindi or whatever. And Bob, would you like to tell this part of the story? I think you're the expert.
Roland and I traveled around. We went to Rameshwaram, which is it's the temple that Maharishi was lured out of the Himalayas to go visit, and beautiful, beautiful temple. Yes, Rameshwaram, down in the southeast corner of India, and we've all heard the story that Maharishi told of the thought of Rameshwaram continually popping into his mind while he was sitting in silence in the Valley of the Saints. And so he eventually traveled to Rameshwaram, and then the rest is history. He never did return to the Himalayas. But so we visited there, and After our visit one afternoon, we were walking back towards the hotel, and we happened to notice this sign of Maharishi Ashram, and we're curious if this was our Maharishi or a different Maharishi, since Maharishi is actually a more generic term. And we managed to flag down somebody from inside who opened the gate and let us in, and met the headmaster, and it is a boys' ashram for training new pundits. It's right there and right across the street from the Rameshwaram temple. And so it was a surprising and enlightening visit, something we were not expecting.
It was also Rameshwaram was also the seat of the other of the Yoga Sutras. Remember?
Oh, that's right, Maharshi Patanjali, the
Patanjali.
yes,
But
the
we
author
didn't have a
of the
camera with
Yoga
us.
Sutras, and he had spent time there at the Rameshwaram temple ages ago, thousands of years ago. And this is an ancient temple. It's been there for a long, long time. And there is a spot behind the temple that he would sit in meditation. And when it came time for the end of his mission here on Earth, he literally physically transcended. It's said that he sat in meditation and for days, and little by little his body started glowing and glimmering. It started becoming slightly transparent until after a number of days his body just vanished into the absolute. And so there's a shrine there on the back side of the Rameshwaram temple for Maharshi Patanjali. And another surprising find that we didn't know was going to be there. So we kept running into amazing things on this journey.
Maybe I can pop in.
Yes.
So I was also part of this course, and I had a special opportunity, if not for very long, to travel with Roland and Bob to the seat of the Shankaracharya of the South in Sringeri. This was a distance of about 580 kilometers, and originally we wanted to go by train, but right at the end of our course was the big festival of Diwali. And in India, you have to book a train seat if you want to travel. You can just go to the station and buy a ticket. So we didn't get a train ticket. In other words, we had to look for an alternative, and this alternative was a sleeper bus. Our travel guide arranged this for us, and we went along the coast to the north, behind the limit of Kerala into the state of Karnataka to a city called Udupi. And from there on, we got a taxi driver who drove us to Sringeri, about another hour or so, hour or 2 hours, I don't know. And what's when I look back now, what's very fascinating is that the whole course got blessings in Kaladi at the Shankara birthplace temple. 2 times we went there at the beginning and at the end of our course, and the very last part of the course was performed there. And after that we got our diplomas, and then we took some photos, and then the course was over and people went home one by one, while Roland, Bob, and I went to Sringeri. And in Sringeri, well, there's a big temple. You walk through a huge gate, and then you come to an open place with, yeah, that's us that's also in Sringeri, in a little temple of the Jain religion, what we found by accident, yes, it happened. So And then in the evening we could yes, just
There we go.
that we see in a puja performed by the Shankaracharya and his successor. The successor of the Shankaracharya of the south is already in training. Shankaracharya, this guy is I think he's 74. He's 4 years older than me. Yes, he must be 74 something, and he has a fixed successor which will take over once he resigns. This is
There we go.
the guy to the right here in the picture. So, okay, we went there and we had a little problems of finding it because the puja building, the building where the puja is held, is a bit away from the temple. You got to walk across a bridge, across a little river, and then further on. But anyway, we managed this, and okay, we were witnessing the puja, which is this picture is what he does there. He makes different offerings and celebrations, and okay, and afterwards, one funny thing happened. There is one guy who stands on the side, and he is a kind of stage manager. And he said to the Shankaracharya, well, we have a group of Europeans and Americans here. They have just completed a meditation teacher course. And then I don't know how, in the end of the ceremony, people would go there and give him some trays with fruit and flowers like you do, like a puja. In the end, you have some offerings. So then we stood in line, and I didn't really not know what was going on there, but I saw that the people were giving him trays with flowers and fruit and all kinds of stuff. And then I said, we don't have trays with flowers, but I gave the stage manager a donation, a little one of I don't know, 200-300 rupees. And then I stood in front of the stage where the Shankaracharya was sitting, and he asked me, what's my name? And I said, yes, my name is Volkmar. And he said, what? And then I said again, Volkmar. And he laughed as if he would say, oh, that's too exotic for me. And he gave us his blessing with this gesture. And I felt very special in this moment. And even more now when I look behind in the past, and I know we had so much blessings and advantages, really special. I don't know if any other course will get to this, but well, I mean, the trip to Sringeri to the Shankaracharya was special, which Bob and Roland and I took after the course. I had to go back after one day because my flight home was due. Roland and Bob did a lot more. Well, that's my part so far.
Yes, it was quite an occasion to meet the Shankaracharya of the South. And this picture represents the document I've spontaneously created with my handwriting in a local copy shop, and we're defining who we are. And when we gave our basket, not the basket that contains the fruit and the flowers, this was on top of it to explain who we were. Unfortunately, yes, we had no time to stay on, even though we were asked, can't you come along, stay on? Why didn't you tell us earlier? And so this coincidence explains that we didn't have a chance to speak really with the Shankaracharya of the South, but we got the blessing. This was a wonderful moment. Also, the second to get the second blessing of the seat of the South of Shankaracharya. Here we are in our lecture hall. The lecture hall is a modern type of building, as you see, modern architecture, and it's the central building of a campus where several buildings are scattered around a lake, a small lake, And like we can see it from here, it was a wonderful piece of nature in the middle of the jungle. It was actually faced around because around this campus, as we were in the jungle, the lights were on day and night, all time, because we were in the mountains and the nature reserve was nearby. So we had to face the reality to confront maybe now and then some beasts or something like this. This is one of the uh, buildings where the students were living on the ground floor, on the top floor. And yeah, we had a little bit of struggle with the roof itself. But so here's our, since we have our lecture hall entered without shoes, it was raining quite often, and we had to take off the shoes in the lecture hall, and this was a good idea too. So now here we are, four of us, and giving their lectures, uh, the intro lectures, and their lectures about where the whole meditation comes from. I know this is Sasha in the with the violet coat from Moscow. Then there is our Italian friend with the white shirt, Alessandro. He lives in Stuttgart in Germany, but he's actually from southern tip of Italy. And to the right, there is this lady. Don't remember her name right now. She's also from Russia, but
Valeria.
she lives in, huh?
Valeria.
Valeria, yes, Valeria.
She's
She lives
Russian,
in,
but she lives in Spain, and she is an Ayurveda practitioner.
yes, right. Uh, so this is what, yes. Can you go ahead, Volkmar, telling us what's happening here?
Oh, I think this is in the middle of our studies. During the course, each one of us had to make some little presentations and lectures, and for the now very important for the people who are in here and may join the next course. The advantage of the teacher training course is not only you can teach people to meditate, but you will also know or learn a lot of concerning your own meditation. What each phase of the meditation means, what is going to happen there, and how it contributes to your progress. And yeah, well, I must say I I personally had some phone calls with Avner before the course, because we did about the most part of the course online with Zoom meetings, because there was still Corona around. And the last part, the last 8 weeks of the course, we did in India, where we saved these pictures. And I was in charge of some technical aspects of the course. We had tapes from Maharishi, and we also had, because we had so many languages, we were 20 Russians, 3 Germans, 1 American, 1 French. So we had a device with headphones, wireless headphones for the Russians, and the tapes which we saw from Maharishi, they were translated more or less simultaneously, so that the Russians could understand what Maharishi was talking. And
Felipe,
yes,
you are here in the picture, in the center of the picture. Can you say something?
Yeah, I was probably translating an English version to a French for Norbert and I were the only two French speaking student. Norbert is from Belgium.
So one part of the course is important part of the course is learning the puja, and learning the puja and learning to perform it in a proper manner. So we had a schedule of doing pujas in our rooms, and we had, I think it was at least one puja every evening. One participant, like here Maxim from Russia, performed it in front of the table, and the other ones were singing along. Everyone got a flower. On the campus of the resort, there were enough flowers growing, so we could just pick them, and everyone before the lecture started in the evening, everyone got some flowers, and also we had some of the ladies in charge of the decoration. So they always prepared the puja table, and they put up flowers and everything. Really nice.
So how often did you do the
240
puja?
each in
How
8
much?
weeks.
How often?
Each one had to perform 240 within the 8 weeks.
Yes, and here's the Excel spreadsheet where everyone updated. So the left column says how many more pujas each person, their name, I wiped out their name. So someone had 182 left, 151. The 68 was probably Irina or Tatiana. Irina was very, very good. But must have been at the beginning when they had about 150 pujas left. But in the end, everyone finished them.
Yeah, here is what the train here is the actually initiation after the puja. The initiation is done, and somebody is sitting as a meditator, and the other person is doing the TMT, the meditation teacher, like in the left picture, Philippe, and in the right picture, it's what's her
Larissa.
name?
Larissa.
Larissa, yes. Larissa was also at the same time a very wonderful translator, English Russian, because she lives in two worlds, and the Russian speaking world and in the English speaking world. Her parents are, as I remember correctly, in Australia and New Zealand or something like this. Yeah, here the same. Bob, you are. Everyone has a tie. We were observing that we are dressed in a good dress code, uh, as if it would be in reality. And it was a bit hard for some of them, uh, but most of them they liked the idea of. The other day I met my sister-in-law, and she said she saw the pictures of the invitation, and she mentioned, "Oh, you have a tie on all the time. It was wonderful. It so suits you." Here we have, oh yes, Adine. What do you say about this picture?
So that's just some fragment of the group meditation, collective meditation, and some of other or us from us to rule of the during the meditation, like start meditation and finish. Then we are just little rest, and after that start the some subject of the course. So it's our routines. It was our routines every day, and it was a very deep experience, very deep meditation during of this course. It's very strong experience of the collective meditation and separate when we come back home. We have some our programs, city programs, which we should do separate. So in this picture, we just do it together.
And you see, Aydin is not wearing a tie because Aydin came with his Kazakh clothes, very traditional, very respectable, and he came with his wife. And Shaule was
Yes.
very a good student. And of course, this is our group meditation before lunch, 20 minutes before lunch, but also we did 2 rounds in the morning and 2 rounds in the afternoon, most of the course. And people there did their asanas and their meditation and their flying and so forth. Aha. This is something that Valeria very much wanted to do a field trip, so she organized it. And so here we are with our red flag so the cars don't hurt us, and we are dressed for the field trip. And we are going up the road, and the road goes up and up and up and up. I wasn't prepared. She said a kilometer and a half. It was 6 kilometers. So we went to the top of this mountain, which overviews the next state in India. This is actually a nature preserve where they have wild elephants. And here we got to the end. You see the big view, and they brought they brought lunch in jeeps. The hotel packed some containers of food on their on their jeeps because they have very steep gravel roads going up there. And they brought it, and we sat on the grass here. It was sort of like the Sound of Music, if you remember the opening scene. The hills are alive with the sound of music. That was very much the feeling. And then just when we finished lunch, there was a thunderstorm, and the hotel owner was very, very worried because thunderstorm on top of a mountain is not a good idea. So quickly, we all jumped into the jeeps and drove down the hill. So this is Tatiana on the right picture. Well, she's in both pictures, on the inner side of both pictures. So Tatiana learned meditation half a year before the course. She had learned Sanskrit for some reason, karmic reason. She was interested in Sanskrit and read Vedic literature, and she learned to meditate, and she came to the course, and she was really, I think she was our valedictorian, our exceptional student. Always, all this wonderful cheery atmosphere, and Roland and I thought she was about 25. It turned out she was a mother with a child. She was in her early 40s. Anyway, and this is Maxime, and to the left is what's her name? A teacher that came. She spoke Russian. She was a TM teacher, Russian, but actually from Israel. So she helped, and most of the course, and it was a big help. And so here we have people. Oh, we had some celebrations. The one in the middle, the girls did dancing. Philippe, maybe you could talk about that. Philippe, you did a wonderful everyone did a presentation about something cultural. So Philippe did one about French chanson, and the Russians sang some of their old.
I made a presentation showing that we have different cultural influence, and our Russian student know a lot about French songs, and also so that one of famous American song, which is My Way, is coming from a French singer. And I remember Bob ignores this point. So it was an opportunity to mix culture and it was funny.
And there were many very talented people. So the Russians, they have the Russian army. What do you call it? The whole huge chorus of the Russian Red Army. Russians got together and sang some of their songs, very beautiful. And I think Sasha did a fireworks display. He had some lights, juggling, very and interesting. Here we are, sort of towards the end, and this is a birthday party for someone, I don't remember. We tried to celebrate any birthday that came along. That way the kitchen would make a special cake. And this is Roland having a very leisurely tea with two ladies. And on the right is
Irina from
Irina.
Siberia.
And
Yeah,
I think,
This
Irina
one is Olga.
Olga, yes.
Olga, I think from Moscow or Leningrad. And
Yeah.
Irina is a professor of health studies in this a city in Siberia, Abakan, southern Siberia, sort of. And when she came back, she taught the principal of the university, the headmaster, whatever it's called, and some of the staff. And she teaches meditation in the university. And and she's been one of the most successful Russian teachers. She was wonderful. Unfortunately, she didn't know too much English, but once we had an outbreak of some problem with people having upset stomachs and so forth, and she's in the health studies. She immediately climbed up the water tower, and took water samples, immediately found the problem, said, clean out this place and all that. Quite a lady. And in the end, we had a celebration. I think this is very much not TMO. People danced around the fire and they had loud music late into the night and sweets and all that. It was quite nice.
It was sort of, to get a break of the long rounding and studying, because it was quite some stress as well on the whole course as far as the rhythm was concerned. Every day, studying, meditating. And so this was a wonderful kind of a break of this routine. And that's why they were very happy to join in. First of all, it was actually an evening dinner out there at the fireplace, and then the music joined in. It was wonderful. Yes, very wonderful.
The next day, it was like 2 days of celebration. So the hotel did us a traditional Kerala dinner on these banana leaves. Very nice. Usually we ate on plates with knives and forks, and then we had competitions on the lake. Who would row fastest there and back? Philippe, who's a captain. He sails sailboats. He's a skipper. So he organized the race and he timed everything. And I forget. Did you win it, Philippe? Who won it? I forget. Or Maxim. And here we are ready to leave the hotel. With all the dramas that we had in the hotel, we had quite a few dramas we haven't gone into here, but we have terrible storms, and we had electrical outages, and we had problem with the water supply, and people problems, but the course survived all of those and everyone graduated. And here they gave us a nice present, a very nice surprise, pictures of everyone, and to Avner and Roland. And here we had a cake. This is already back in Kochi, a fancy cake, cutting the cake celebration. And 2 months and 240 pujas later, we go into the bus and we drive for 2 or 3 hours from up the mountains, a very winding road downstairs. And every half hour, the ladies want to stop and go shop and go to the bathroom. But we did finally get to the temple. And in the temple, This is the diploma that people got. This is Irina Romanova. Romanova, by the way, is the name of the Tsar family. And this is Surya Narayan on the left, and he is awarding the diplomas to everyone. What we did not take pictures of, because it's not traditional not to take, there's a final lesson in the course in which people get the final knowledge that they need in order to teach. You need the knowledge of the mantras. And Surya Narayan gave out the mantras himself to people. And we felt it was just wonderful that instead of Roland and me, Roland from Austria and me from Israel, that someone from the tradition directly is giving out the mantras and making these, and basically graduating these people. And this is Shaule, Aydin's wife, again, Kazakh uniform. And so Philippe, Volkmar, Bob, Olga. We're taking this for Elena, who had to leave 2 days early, so we accepted on her behalf. She graduated still. Tatiana, Valeria, Maria, Sasha, Alessandro, and there were many, many others, but we won't do all of them. And Roland gave everyone a special gift, a piece of Maharishi's dhoti. You want to say something about that, Roland?
Yes, that's very interesting. When I was in Salisbury in the 70s, in the first time, it was in 1974, when I was, no, 73, when I was doing my SCI course there. And I met a woman from the United States, and we became friends, kind of. And she gave me a dhoti, not a dhoti, but meter wear of the silk of Maharishi. Maharishi left one day, and he gave me that. She gave me that, and I had it at home with me for all these years. I didn't know what to do, and so I thought when I went to India, I thought, oh, maybe I can use it there somewhere and give every participant a piece of that. And so it happened. It was long enough, and everyone we got a made up scarf by a professional. What do you call it? Somebody who can.
Seamstress.
Yes, and this was very nice, very beautiful.
Here, Volkmar has it. He's showing it.
Yes, show me once more. Oh, yes, here it is. Great, yes. And so it got finally after 50 years, its goal. Everyone got a little a scarf of that. Wonderful.
We also got another thing. I will show it now. When we came to the course, Aydin gave Roland and me these sheepskins that were part of some Kazakh yagya. And he says it's traditional to give the teachers. So he gave me and Roland one, and the white one for the ladies. And so I treasure that, and I sit on it in my office. Hopefully it makes me a better person. Thank you.
I sit on it every morning when I meditate on my chair where I have got it, and I sit on that sheepskin, the black one. It's given me a good feeling. Thank you, Aydin. Very, very good.
Okay, and here's Surya Narayan with the scarves. And here we are giving the valedictorians and salutatorian special awards for the best students. So Irina was one of them, and Larissa. And here we are saying our thank you and goodbyes to Surya Narayan. We kept in touch. I called him once or twice afterwards. And if somehow, nature brings us back together, it would be wonderful to go with him to Srinagar, but who knows what will happen.
Avna, he has got Surya Narayana has got a Facebook account, and it pops up. Yes.
Good for him.
if
will
you
definitely look for him.
yeah, if you just search with his name and it will pop up. And I'm connected with the one with the Shankaracharya of the South via Facebook account now also.
Beautiful. He has an interesting name. First of all, the minute we came, his face is sort of glowing. He's a very nice person. And but the name is interesting because the puja starts with Narayana Padma.
Yes.
Man is that creative intelligence of the universe between creations that holds the knowledge. When the creation comes forth, the knowledge comes from him. That's Narayana. And Surya, of course, is the sun, and he's glowing like both of them, always, always in a good mood. He is our valedictorian, and Tatiana, and here are the new teachers, and that.
This was the course, yes. Some pictures illustrating, but in reality, of course, pictures never can mirror the reality of life happening there on the course. And it was wonderful. Actually, it was taken by mistake, not by mistake, why we landed up in Kerala, because Avner was seeking a place somewhere in Europe. We were, first of all, in Bulgaria or somewhere in Southeast Europe where the hotels are cheaper than somewhere else in Europe. But due to the travel expenses or the visa problems for the Russian-speaking space, Avner had to consider an alternative to Bulgaria. And so it happened that, Avner, you know more about this.
Well, I just sent an email. I figured I would never be able through booking. India is it's a different place. You cannot just come and order, 20 hotel rooms for 2 months. You must know somebody. Someone must know somebody. You must be a friend of the family or something. So I contacted 3 ticket agents and I said, I have a course of people, 25 people. We need 2 months. We need a quiet, secluded place where teachers of meditation. And one guy answered me, the others didn't really answer. And I talked with him, and this was our Rajesh, who was phenomenally, he's Indian, but he wasn't Indian in his mentality. And he was a very practical person. He went around, looked at hotels, mostly around where they make tea, where they grow tea, up in what was it? It's in the mountains in Kerala. And he found this place, and this was a new resort. It had just started. Someone had built it, but it hadn't really run it as a hotel yet. So we got a good price. So that was that. And but really, it was nature working itself out because there's no way we could do another. There were so many nature support and so many surprises that it was, a first time. So I think
Some of the nature support was that we also had speakers who were not there physically. Remember,
yes,
one of
yes,
the most enjoyable speakers was Anjali Maharda. Anjali Maharda gave us a talk uh, there, and it was such an she was for quite some years, kind of secretary of Maharishi, uh, and she still has got a Facebook account where she publishes transcripts of talks of Maharishi. And if you look it up, you can copy and paste it and make a collection out of what she's doing there. But she has given us, I think, once or twice a talk. It was wonderful.
yes, yes.
And she was a soul who was protecting us from the TMO. We kind of were not quite sure what what's happening if the TMO is discovering us. I say discovering because almost at the same time TMO was organizing 2 months later this huge peace meeting in central India, and but she was kind of well connected with the Indian movement, and she gave us the feeling that we don't need to worry. It was amazing, wonderful and amazing.
And we sent her puja set. We ordered puja sets. We had to invent the puja sets, So we went to a factory in India and ordered them. And of course, it's India. They didn't make them on time. Didn't arrive on time. Then they wanted to ship them, but there was the Diwali or something. Nothing was. Oh, there was some Congress. But anyway, they all arrived. They all arrived the day before we needed them. But this is India. Okay, so now we're
But
looking.
also Paul Mason was there giving us a talk, remember? I
Yes,
think Paul Mason, first time, he used to write books, amazing books. You all know, no? The biographies of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi and Swami Brahmananda Saraswati. But and his Facebook account is a great success of communication. But I got the impression he never made a public talk to a group, and so I invited him one day, and he gave us a talk. I mean, on distance, in a Zoom, of course, and it was a great thing to come closer with Paul Mason, who is now a great supporter of the Teachers of Meditation Association.
many great speakers came in and were. I think as much as they enjoyed speaking, the students hearing them, they enjoyed seeing a group of people learning to be teachers of meditation, and that something good is.
Yes, like Ingemar from Stockholm, who
Yes.
is Ingeborg and Bengt, and Ingegerd from Norway, and and also want to mention Philippe Chavancé from St. Petersburg, who was a great mentor of our course, because he was one of them who was motivating in the Russian-speaking space the people to come up and join our course, because we didn't know who was ever going to join our course. When we started the online talks or sessions, we had no idea whether it's going to become real or not, of course. But then all of a sudden, there were enough students there, and then we started the course. It was 20, the early year in January 2023. So it was like a blind skipping, to speak in the sailor's language. And so it was wonderful and great to have started the course after all.
Yes, so we have Kash here. Kash, say hi maybe. Kash is going to be leading the marketing, the popularizing of the course, of the next course. And David, I mean, you feel, give him the materials, the tapes, anything. He'll probably create clips of them. I think this might be an interesting one that you can use some of the materials. And Kash, we wish you all success. And maybe after this talk, you stay on a few minutes. We'll talk a little bit and give you whatever you need to start working.
Oh, well, we'd be delighted. Absolutely. By the way, I'm really grateful to be part of this group. I'm sort of this lone ranger here in Texas, and don't have many people that I know that are as zealous as you about the teachings, about the experience of samadhi. So it's really beautiful. I'm really blessed. This has really answered prayers for me to be part of this group, believe it or not. and to also take part in this integral role to help in whatever way I can to contribute to the marketing is a sheer joy. I can't say how I'm just enamored to be part of this. Thank you. And the meditation this morning was extremely deep, very beautiful to be together.
Mm.
To be together is so important. The amplification of our energies is so beautiful. So much light, love, peace, supreme bliss. So thank you, gentlemen and lady, for the honor of being with you.
Great.
Thank you, Cash, for having joined us. It's
Oh,
wonderful.
I'm
And
so
the point is, we all sort of independent teachers, independent, and we are not experiencing large groups around us in the local areas where we're living.
Yeah.
So we know, I know what you're talking about. Cash. Yeah.
Yeah, and you carry with you some wonderful experiences that I would not have otherwise been able to access. So this group is very enriching. And I would have loved to have been with you on that journey there. It was a beautiful. I could just imagine. Pictures, of course, are limited, like you said, but I think there's time for a great renaissance. I think that's what ITMA is all about, is to bring about the true ethos of the Maharishi, to help mankind. So I am really thrilled to be with this movement.
All right. Well, thank you,
Wonderful.
everybody. Jay Gurudev, it's been wonderful meeting you all. And we'll meet again, I guess, next Sunday or whatever happens. Declan, nice to see you again.
Thank you, Asner. Thank you very much for the invitation, Roland. Yeah, I was delighted to attend. It's a wonderful initiative. It's very noble work you're doing, and I'm delighted to have connected with it. So thank you, and for joining in the meditation earlier. So it's always very nice. It's amazing what you can do across all of us at the same time, different parts of the world. It's amazing. So thank you very much,
Yes.
and thank you for the very nice presentation.
All right. Jay Gurudev.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Jai Gurudev.
Jay Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.